Okay, so as I said, this video is going to be about telling my family and friends. I'm really hecka nervous to tell most people. And I want to talk a little bit, for those of you who maybe have never been LDS or never heard of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, I want to talk about why it's so hard to tell people and why it's so hard for people to hear that news. So I think the biggest factor, especially with families, is the LDS Church. Their whole philosophy is families can be together forever, meaning even after you die, you're still with your family. And when you leave the church, you don't have that promise anymore. And so for your parents, for your siblings, all of a sudden they're not guaranteed to see you in the afterlife. They're not guaranteed to have that forever with you. And so especially as parents, you can imagine how hard that would be to lose that promise. I honestly think that's the number one thing. And also, the church really encourages you to have friends who are also LDS. And so it's really, I don't know, it's really rough for people to hear. Like you're leaving behind, they're seeing you almost as a completely different person. And I was going to practice this video, but I kind of just want it to be raw. So I'm just going to get started. I left the church on Thanksgiving. I called my sister Janae 2 days later. She is also not LDS, and so she was my easiest go-to person. I decided with telling people I was going to use like levels, like in a game. So, start with the easiest level and then work your way to the hardest, which would definitely probably be my parents. So I told my sister, and of course she was cool with it. She was so amazing. She was really sensitive to my feelings. I really appreciated her. I told her a while before that I was struggling with different aspects of the church, and she was so supportive. She never tried to convince me one way or the other. She was just like, whatever you decide, like I'm here for you. And so when I left, she kept that same attitude and was like, I'm so sorry. I know this is really hard for you and really, a difficult time for you to be going through. And she was just amazing. And I told my next sister about the same time frame, that day or the next day, because she also knew I was struggling, and I felt like it'd be easiest to tell people who already knew I was thinking about leaving because they were kind of prepared. And so I told her over Marco Polo, and I didn't really think much about it because we had been Marco Poloing back and forth about the church, and so I wasn't really even concerned how she would react because I thought she was pretty prepared. And I haven't asked her a whole bunch about it, but she did mention she was really glad I told her on Marco Polo so that she could have that time to react. And because she said that, it really changed my outlook about telling people. Because at first I felt really obligated to tell people in person. I felt like I was being disrespectful if I didn't tell them in person. And once she said that, I realized maybe it would be better to tell people through writing or through Marco Polo or something they could hear the information and have their personal reaction before talking to me about it, because it is a really personal thing and a really hard thing for people to hear. And for people to understand why you're leaving. I've decided to tell everyone else through writing. I told my best friend last night, and I was actually super nervous to tell her, and I don't know why. I guess I was maybe worried it would change our friendship. She actually had been semi-inactive for a while and then come back to the church, and so I almost felt like we were switching positions where now she's active and I'm leaving, and I just didn't know how she would react, and I was like terrified. I'm on graveyard, so I texted her in the middle of the night and then didn't hear from her until I woke up the next morning, and she had the best reaction. I would say if you are LDS and someone you love has left the church, this is a good thing to say to them. She was just like, it makes no difference. I love you. She even offered up other religions I could try if I wanted to. She was just so incredible. Oh my gosh. And showed me so much love and support, and it meant the world to me because I was so scared. Like, she's my best friend. Like, I didn't want to lose her. And so to hear her just be like, whatever, it was the freaking best. I also told my brother through text. My active sister and brother that I've talked about so far, I don't really want to use their names because people might know them personally, but they both just said they were sad, but they still love me. And that was a good reaction. I didn't have a problem with that. I was sad. I made them sad actually because I'm a people pleaser and I like to spread goodness and joy and happiness. And so it was really, really hard to hear like I let them down, but I understood. And I've also tried to take on the mantle of I can't control someone else's feelings. I can only control what I feel. And what I feel is this is the right thing for me to do and the right step to take. So I've actually written a letter to my family. For the rest of them, I'm going to send it, I think, through an email today or tomorrow. It's January 1st, and so my sister Janae told me, new year, new you, like just get it over with. And that's kind of how I feel. I've gone back and forth on when to tell them, but I don't think there'll ever be a good time to tell them. So, okay. So I just got to do it, even if it's scary and hard. I think my mom and stepdad will take it the hardest because of that families forever thing. I think that's going to be really, really hard on them. But we'll see. Okay. So I'm going to read you my letter that I wrote to my family. So, dear family member, Greg and I first want to express our appreciation to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. We learned so many amazing life lessons from our childhood growing up in the church. We learned about kindness, dedication, public speaking, and of course, we learned about our Heavenly Father and our Savior Jesus Christ. The church gave us an appreciation for family and community. We created so many amazing friendships through the gospel and truly feel blessed to have been raised with such high morals. The past couple years, Greg and I have spent countless hours studying and praying. We've decided together that we no longer wish to be members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. We understand this may seem sudden to you, but please know the countless tears that have been shed over the decision and the endless hours of praying and research. As we discussed our future and what we wanted for our family, we realized that we were not happy being members of the church. We are so incredibly sorry for any pain this choice will cause you, but we are truly happy and at peace with our choice. While we know this may be painful for you, we are asking you kindly refrain from sending us conference talks, bearing your testimonies to us, or any other form of trying to sway us in our choice. We are firm in our decision, and any sort of preaching to us will do nothing but hurt our relationship. We were active members of the church for 30 years, and we are well aware of its teachings and principles. We love you so much and want to be completely open and honest with you, which is why we are sending you this letter. We wanted to give you time to react and work through your feelings. Please know we are still the same people you love and care for. We love you with all our hearts and hope that with time you will be able to accept our choices and be supportive to us. Love, Gregory and Kayla. Oh my gosh, my heart is like racing. Like that just made it feel so real. I really want these videos to be raw and open because leaving the church is one of the hardest things I've done. Not the hardest, but one of the hardest. And at times it's felt soul crushing and hard, and it makes you feel really lonely and like you're an outsider because I don't have a lot of friends or family who are not members of the church. And it's just a totally new feeling. I worry most that people are going to see me as less than now, that I'm going to be a second-class citizen in their eyes because I'm not living these, maybe the same standards or principles they believe in. And that really hurts. Like, I'm still me. I'm still the same person, who's kind and generous and happy and goofy and stubborn and cranky sometimes. Like, I'm all the same things. The only thing that's different is I'm not practicing the LDS religion anymore. And it's really scary to think that people will judge you and people will consider you just not as great of a person anymore. Not maybe look up to you like they might have before. I don't know. It's really scary. And it's really hard because I know it's going to break my mom's heart especially. I know she's going to cry a lot. And it's really going to suck. And it hurts me to know I'm the reason behind her tears and the reason behind her sadness. But again, I also know that it's right for us. And I feel so much happier not being a member of the church. And I feel so much freer and so much more authentic to who I am and what I want and what I stand for and what I want for my children. But it's just really scary. And it's scary because I could send them the email and then maybe no one will write back. Maybe no one will respond. And then how do you move forward from that? What do you say and what do you do? And I just spin myself in circles, which is another reason I just want to tell people. I just want to get it over with. I just want people to know where we stand and what's going on with us. But I think this is going to be the hardest part. No, the second hardest part of leaving the LDS church is telling everyone we love and care about. So in my next video, video number 3, I will be talking about mostly how my mom took it. I might include some of my siblings I haven't told yet that I'm really scared to tell. I don't know. I just want people to love me for me. Flawed and broken and all. I don't want to live a lie. I feel like I've lived this fake version of myself for years and I'm done. So, if you are here, if you're telling people that you're no longer wanting to be a part of the LDS Church, I feel for you. I'm with you. I know how hard it is. I know how scary it is, but we can do this. I can do hard things. I have survived the past year where we didn't have income. I've survived a lot. So, all right. I will be back with you guys to tell you how it goes. Oh, gosh. Bye, guys.